Mango, they need the momentum to, start the comeback, and Jobcenter can also get lost in the series. And also we see the adaptation from Mango. They ban out Orianna. I think that this adaptation is really nice because we feel like Josh is really comfortable, but Ziggs is the issue. We've been discussing that before, yeah, and I think in the first game, between the games, that probably Josh having those issues with the champion pool, and Ziggs is also a good option if you, for example, don't have Orianna available. And here we see Ziggs Jace combination, which is, different from what we saw the last game, but it's the kind of instruments are similar.
No, definitely. I think they both kind of have similar ways of playing. Jace is there with the poke that can maybe jump in every so often. Ziggs is there with the poke as well. So I think for the side of Jobcenter, they just really need that front line now to protect the Ziggs and protect the Jace. I think if you can give Ziggs and Jace enough time, enough space, then that poke damage is just going to be so annoying to deal with. The problem is, on the other side, you have the likes of Maokai ultimate coming on through and Bessa, so they already have a lot of dive in onto the backline. So it's really about kind of how the rest of the draft is going to wrap out here for Jobcenter, and how they're going to stop this Bessa from getting onto the likes of the Ziggs and the Jace on the backline.
And it feels like it's really nice that this time Mango got Maokai, because last game they had Galio, and despite that the big advantage of the global presence, they didn't really use the global presence except for maybe one moment in the game, and that's all. So I think that now they have more of power in the team fights because of Maokai, and Maokai can give this non-committal engage, which is very important for the team fighting, and they can do more things, in my opinion, in team fights right now with Maokai, and especially with Virus is not available, which is really good crowd control source. There will be no Virus on the side of Jobcenter, but that they get Xin Zhao, which is nice if Mango will decide to go for a range hyper carry, for example.
No, definitely, and I think it's a really good disengage champion as well. I was kind of mentioning that you need a draft to protect the Ziggs and protect the Jace. I mean, if you can use Xin Zhao's ultimate more defensively and use it to try and push the Bessa away, push the Renekton away, for example, it's a great way to kind of give space to the Ziggs and the Jace. So Xin Zhao, in my opinion, is a perfect pick for this draft. Giving the space for the Ziggs and the Jace to do enough damage. You have to make sure that, with Xin Zhao, you're actually pushing the champions away and not towards your team. That might be a bit of a problem at times. But Severe is actually going to be being picked up here. First time in this best of 5 series, a champion that we thought we would see quite often, thanks to the utility of the ultimate, the movement speed that you're able to get, and with Renekton and Bessa on your side, it's a great pick to kind of give you the extra movement speeds.
Yeah, and also mid lane Sivir is quite strong as well. We've seen it a couple of times already. I think, not even a couple, many times. Sivir mid is quite strong, as she can shove the wave really fast and can rotate with her AD carry, support, obviously. And we see Garen, and the thing you've mentioned before is that Patterson, the second game that he played on not on a carry champion, and I also agree with you that it was kind of an issue because Patterson can outplay Carlos if he goes for the carry champion, and this time he will get Renekton. Of course, it's not good matchup against Garen, especially in the early game. Yeah, only later on Renekton can beat the Garen after like 3-4 items, but even then it's not the easiest target to get. But the fact that Patterson is now playing on the carry champion, and especially his Renekton is quite strong, so he can find the options to shred through the front line and get into the back line. For example, catch Ziggs with his Ruthless Predator and try to just one-shot the carry, or Jace, for example, the same way. And I think now Mango has a really solid draft. They have a lot of crowd control, they have a lot of mobility, a lot of utilities, pretty balanced draft, which is I think they can win this one. I think this is their best option and best draft out of all three, from example, in my opinion.
I think the Renekton is definitely a big step up to the Shen. It gives Patterson a lot more time and a lot more space. But before we get into this game, we were mentioning that we were going to be running some giveaways on the stream, and we are going to be running one right now onto the stream. So go into Twitch chat, get yourselves ready, because we are going to be revealing a picture on your screens, and you're going to have to guess. Make sure you keep an eye out for a DM from Purge, and they will be able to DM you for a random skin chest, which hopefully you'll be able to get something really good, just like the Zig skin, even though I actually hate the Zig skin. I think this is probably the worst Zig skin. But hey, maybe Jas doesn't have any of the cool Zig skins. Yeah, we'll be running multiple giveaways throughout the stream, so that won't be the first one for today. There'll be another one, hopefully, a bit later on in the second Best of 5 series. But going back to the game, Cold Star. Are Mango going to be able to do it? Can they actually take a game off of Jobcenter, or do you feel like Jobcenter just have the momentum now to try and 3-0 sweep this game?
I mean, they definitely have the momentum, but I believe in Mango. I think they can turn the tides and they can get this game and they can get over, because 3-0 in this kind of series, I think it will be kind of a disappointment, and I think Mango are not willing to lose this so hard. So small trades here and there. We see that in the mid lane they try to put up some aggression as well from the side of Mango Maracuya, and then they got level 2 faster than Jobcenter did. And also bot lane, yeah, typical mage bot lane. There's nothing special about this one.
Why has nothing changed in 2 years, Cold Star of Wild Rift? It's been 2 years now since we had Icon, since we had everything else, WREC finals and everything, and nothing's changed. We have new champions, we have new ADCs, we have Severe, who is getting a bit caught out here in the mid lane and does need to be a little bit careful, but it's going to be able to escape the bill. The aggression coming on through. It doesn't matter how low he is on HP. He will flash forward and he will try his best to get an advantage for his team. But he doesn't actually get a kill in the end. But yeah, new champions, new adventures for these players, but still the same old picks.
Same old picks, yeah, and Deadly... he gets the heavy damage from Find God. And the problem of this meta is actually there was some brief moment when we got back to ADCs, because AD carry was at some point kind of overpowered, and
yes,
there was a moment of
I
ADC
believe that was
prevailing.
when they changed some base something.
Bloodthirster, the appearance.
No,
of
it was even
Bloodthirster
before that. I remember there was a whole change with every single ADC. I think it was something to do with like it was the auto attack spacing, like how the spacing works and how the auto attack works. But not about ADCs. It's actually the Renekton getting caught up in the top side. The ulti comes on through. First blood for the Xin Zhao and first blood for the side of Jobcenter. I keep forgetting their name.
Yeah, and here comes the engage.
Back, though.
Yeah, Mr. Solo Bolo is gonna fall in the mid lane.
Again, he gets caught. What is happening?
I mean, they're trying to put a lot of pressure in the mid lane, but they're not... You know, the moment when your jungler is ganking some lane, enemy jungler should do something as well. And you need to be aware of, and you need to remember that enemy jungler might be anywhere. I mean, especially in your lane, because the other one is empty. So you need to be ready for that, and the mid lane will be always under pressure in this situation when you have like double lanes in the mid. And that's why Nabil should have expected this potential gank on mid lane. And when your jungler ganks the side, you should be more careful.
And trade up in the top lane here with Patterson. It's a level down at the moment. It's kind of losing this trade. I mean, with Giant Spell already on the side of the Garen and also the Plated Steel Caps, it becomes much more difficult now for this Renekton. I mean, this is a bad thing about Renekton, is that when the Renekton does fall behind, it becomes such a more difficult situation for the Renekton, because it's an early game champion that needs a lead, needs the advantage, and needs items under his belt as soon as possible. And this Garen is just going to get harder and harder to kill the further he gets ahead.
Yeah, and the matchup is bad overall for Renekton, so he's not really able to pressure onto Garen. So, oh wow, what the hell? Antonio engages with his ultimate so far. That was crazy. Well, okay, I think it was
maybe it was a misclick or something, or maybe like didn't expect to end up there, but
autocast maybe he wanted to go onto the gold.
I don't even know if I don't know if he had vision. That's the thing. I don't think he had vision because he was underneath the. So I think it was just like blind, and then he just like miraculously hit someone and somehow teleported there. But luckily, Ambessa can dash 100 times thanks to her passive. So even if she does go a little bit too far, she can just use a dash away to get to safety. But a bit of a scary time there for Antonio.
Couple of 100 years of experience.
Yes, the classic. I mean, we don't have Cassante yet. Maybe in the future.
Oh yeah. In
we
the
don't have
Philios.
Cassandra, yeah.
And
And Aphelios.
thing.
Oh, I mean, you know what? I mean, everyone might hate Aphelios, but I've been asking for Aphelios for such a long time. I think that the champion would be so cool. Like all the AoE damage, all the scaling that you'll be able to get. I don't know how they would transition and kind of make Aphelios work with how his guns work, but hey, if you can make Victor's E work and everything as well, then hey, you can make Aphelios work somehow. So eventually we'll get all the champions. It's taking quite some time, but we have over 120 champions now in this game. I never thought that, like, 4 years ago, that when this game came out, we would have 120 champions now and some really awesome skins and just everything in general. So look, kill in the mid lane.
My God, misses the shock blast with the acceleration gate, but
it was a bait to use his spell shield.
Yeah,
he actually because if he actually hits the spell shield of Severe, she gains more HP, doesn't she? So it's actually a bait. Misses on purpose to make sure that Severe doesn't heal a bit of HP. So then he secures the kill. Big brain.
Big brain from Fine God, yeah, definitely. And the Hextech Gorilla is summoned on mid lane, and here let's see how Jobcenter gonna work with that, because we see that 3 or 4 plates down on the mid lane, and that's pretty huge comparing to what Mango did before in the previous game with their Hextech Gorilla. And in the mid lane, we see that Jobcenter, besides that, they instantly got the control in the bot side of the map, and they got more plates in the tier 1 tower on bot lane. So Jobcenter transitioned this advantage with the Hextech Gorilla into bot side jungle. They got red buff, they got golems, they got more plates on the tier 1 tower and bot lane. So macro-wise, Jobcenter did really good job in this brief moment.
Yeah, they weren't able to get the first tower though, unfortunately. I think they really would have liked to get that first tower and get a big advantage. Patterson flashing on forward, trying to secure the kill. It's going to be very difficult to try and break down this Garen. Of course, the honey fruit there is to save the life there. Patterson, no flash again. Blader and King is a big spike now for Renekton, but you need to get a kill. You need to get an advantage with this Renekton. Blader and King spike is huge against, especially against like Heartsteel, because of the % health damage that you're able to deal. But it's just not enough. He can't get the solo kill.
Okay, nice catch on to Chase. Okay, Fine God must.
Wait, he's gonna live!
Oh, he lives! Impossible.
He lives and he gets a kill. Giga chat.
Giga chat, Fine God. I was really looking into bot lane because there was a heavy dive from Manga Maracuya. We didn't see that. Didn't see that one coming, and Patterson must be really careful in the top lane because there must be a gank attempt from Snorlax.
And meanwhile, whilst this was all happening in bot side, Snorlax again invading into the top side jungle. No blue buff and no golem to take here for Antonio, and Snorlax is getting so far ahead. Level 10 already at 8 minutes into the game. Again though, going for Divine Sunder, a pretty interesting choice. Again, you know, these champions really want kind of these carry stats from the likes of Trinity Force, but again, going for Divine Sunderer, playing a bit more cautious in terms of the item build. So, I mean, you could do like % health damage against like Maokai, who's a tank, but other than Maokai, who are you really dealing % damage to? Because there's not really anyone else that builds a lot of HP.
Well, Renekton will do it at some point.
Eventually, yeah.
I think there will be more HP on Ambessa's side also, because she will probably go for Divine Sunder, so...
Yeah. I mean, assuming the same build comes along again, I mean, Divine Sunder is going to get a bit of HP. Renekton will go into HP as well. Unfortunately, we have a bit of a crash. We'll get into the game, back into the game shortly, unfortunately.
Lost the first game, very disappointing. The second game was quite disappointing as well, because things went pretty decent for them. And the third game, they lost the pace. It feels like they're not in the tempo. They're kind of losing a lot of stuff here. They could have managed to be more careful at some situation, and they chose Dragon this time. Aggression from Garen Magembo is gonna fall, and the tier 1 tower falls as well.
Oh god, it's a completely different game this time around. Cold start. It just looks like the momentum that has come on through here for Jobcenter means that they're just able to ride that momentum into game number 3, and now they have an 8,000 gold lead at 9 minutes into this game. Tier 2 tower in mid has gone down. Tier 2 tower in top lane has gone down, and you're seeing incredible gold leads across the board. Nearly 3,000 gold lead in mid lane, 1,000 gold lead in bot lane, nearly 2,000 gold lead in the top lane, and this looks like it's going to be a 3-0. But as we've seen in both the other games in this series, anything can still happen.
Yeah, but currently it's a huge disaster for Mango. The only good thing that I see here is that they got the first Drake, so they can stall the game and they can try to skip all the objectives for now. They don't need to fight for the dragon. They can wait out and they can try to trade a little bit, and they made an attempt on the top side of the map, but Hex Gates made it possible for Nautilus to quickly switch to the top side of the map. So now Jobcenter, they didn't even lose the top lane tower, so they're full in control of this game.
I'm really interested to see actually what direction Riot take with Wild Rift in 2025. Obviously, we have patch 6.0 coming out very, very soon in like basically a month from now, like just over a month away until patch 6.0, which is normally one of the biggest patches because you have like 5.0, 6.0. Of course, we're not going to have like this whole like Hex Rift, but I'm interested to see if some of the mechanics actually stays, because obviously the arcane theme and everything is going to be over now from 5.0. I would love for Hex portals to actually stay in the game. I think the Hex gates actually bring a whole different way of playing Wild Rift. It allows you to maybe look at side lanes and try and create pressure in side lanes and still join fights and still rotate around the map a lot quicker than what you can already. I mean, Wild Rift is a very fast-paced game. You can already move from one side of the map to the other very quickly. But I feel like Hex portals in general have been a great addition to the game.
Yeah, and also it can cover up some mistakes of players when they're mispositioning on the other side of the map from objective, for example.
Yes.
And they can, yeah, the Hex Gate can cover up some mistakes.
Oh, there you go.
Positioning.
Speaking of Hex Gate.
Yeah, that's
Phil just using it to get into the bottom side of the map, and hey, that might give pressure over to the Renekton. Savek has just kind of realized that Medjai's has been built by Ziggs, which honestly, I hate this item. I just don't think the item is very good at all. I just think it's a waste of 1,500 gold. But I mean, if you're ahead in a game like this, if you're so far ahead, like nearly 10,000 gold ahead, if you're able to get kills, I mean, Ziggs is a champion that shouldn't die anyway. You should be able to stay far enough back that you'll be able to get stacks with Medjai's, and I don't mind it. But overall, I'd rather spend that 1,500 gold and complete another item.
And there is a Medjai's curse. When you build Medjai, you will definitely die in the game. So Josh needs to be really careful now, because the Medjai curse is gonna find him this game, and I'm somehow sure that even if Jobcenter will keep stomping this game, at some point Josh will die to bring one death into his score line.
I mean, that's all it takes. One death, and then that's it. Like, all your Medjai stacks are gone. The unfortunate thing is I don't think you can actually see the Medjai stacks and how many you have. I mean, Ziggs hasn't gotten any takedowns yet, unfortunately. But yeah, Garen is 1v4, as you mentioned. But actually going to be able to take a kill in a 1 versus 5. Able to trade 1 for 1. And this whole time, the Baron gets taken. The distraction in the end from Garen. Carlos doing incredibly well. He got such a huge shield as well from Stoneplate. Trade 1 for 1. Take the Baron from this team. He'll be the one typing worth in chat right now.
Yeah, and he's way too ahead. Look at his gold. Look at 3 items Garen with Thornmail against 3 heavy ADC champions. Yeah, only Morgana is the champ with the AP damage. For Garen is the, I don't know, like bread and butter or something like that, because for Garen it's so easy to absorb all the damage that comes from Mango's side, and this Black Cleaver won't help you at all. Like Renekton doesn't even have Black Cleaver yet, only now he builds it. This is good for Renekton, for the team Mango Maracuya overall, because they will shred some armor from the side of Garen, but it doesn't matter. Like, Garen is so tanky that can easily put down the towers in the bot lane, and now the pressure from Jobcenter is insane.
Even go for Titanic on top of how tanky he is already, so he gets the extra HP, but he also gets the extra damage as well. He can also help in it can also help in terms of pushing towers, pushing in the side wave, which is exactly what he's doing. They're playing a 1-3-1 at the moment. Jobcenter, they're using that T-Hex in the mid lane, trying to take that mid lane tower. The great thing is they are playing Ziggs as well, so you can just use the satchel charge and just take towers one by one, and it's exactly what they're doing. It's a desperation play here for now for the side of Mango, but meanwhile on top side, Fine God is going to take another tower. It's 2 inhibitors down. Mango were able to get 1 kill onto Snorlax, but I still don't think it's enough. 2 inhibitors down. They're going to try and create pressure in this mid lane. They need to defend this tier 3 tower in the bottom side of the map.
Need to go in.
Huge accelerated shock blast does so much damage here to Morgana. The T-Hex is trying so much. They're actually going to probably get another kill here onto the Jace. Actually flashing forward, gets a kill onto the Jace, so they're able to get 2 kills here, but the base has completely fallen apart.
Yeah, that's an insane moment for Mango. They did the all-in. That was a really nice decision by them to not allow Jobcenter to finish off the last tower in this game for Mango. But they lost, as you mentioned, Stu, they lost 2 towers, and it's a big issue. Of course, the inhibitor will be back up, but not that soon enough. And Jobcenter, they can get another Drake right now. Of course, Mango, maybe they should try to all-in the tower on top lane and just get tier 1 to get some extra gold during the moment Jobcenter are taking the Mountain Drake. But I'm not sure they will have enough time because of the super minions. Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for Mango to get anything from this small victory.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, at this point, they don't even really need to take the dragon. They're going to take the dragon anyway, but honestly, they don't even need to take this. They can just create the pressure in the top side and the mid side of the map, and then go towards the bot lane, try and get that 3rd inhibitor. The Jace is going to be pushing in that bot lane for now. The next Baron is spawning in 15 seconds. It's do or die now, really, for Mango. This is game number 3. If Jobcenter win this game, they go through to the grand final, and they play the winner of our next best of 5 series coming up straight after this game. Baron has spawned. There is no vision at all from the side of Mango, but as we can see at the moment, there's no real members for the side of Jobcenter over towards the Baron, but the pings are now coming on through. They need to try and get another pick. Honestly, this Garen can just do the same thing again. Just 1 versus 5 Cold Star in the back line and just allow the rest of the team to, you know, do so much damage. Snorlax getting a bit caught out there potentially, but just doing enough damage to Ambessa, which forces Ambessa back to base.
Yeah, and there is an engage from Nabil. Nice ultimate. Here comes tons of damage onto Wexy. He tries to survive at any cost, but it's impossible because of ultimate of Garen. Catches him. Antonio in the middle, using his stasis, trying to get this damage done. Jobcenter is destroying Mango Marikuya over and over, and there are 3 people, but deadly.
Severe damage.
Nice damage from Severe, but it's not enough to kill all the members of Jobcenter. Look, 4 members are like literally 1 HP. But no, Mango Marikuya, they're way too behind to deal with those guys from Jobcenter.
Yeah, you can see if Severe gets enough time in these fights that, you know, she can do so much damage with her boomerangs spreading across every single member on Jobcenter. But as you mentioned, not getting a kill there is pretty much a disaster. However, Severe did take them low enough on health that they weren't able to do this Baron. Ambessa is alive in 5 seconds time. Probably needs to try and buy teleport here. Try and swap over to teleport and try and secure this Baron, because I don't think Ambessa is going to get out on this map in time. It's
4K.
gone. The Baron's just gone.
Ultimate on Renekton, the Baron is gonna be gone. And then there is no chance to contest that one. Patterson needs to run away, but he tries to go all in onto Ziggs. Ziggs flashing away, he tries to survive. He has the stasis and buys enough time for the team to come. And then the problem comes onto Snorlax. Mango Marikuya, they're trying to deal nice damage onto Snorlax, and probably Silver gonna get it. Okay, 3 kills for Mango. There is a chance. They got a chance to get an Elder Drake and maybe stall the game further.
They just needed to disengage. That's all that they needed to do there. Like, just take the Baron, disengage. Yes, you can let the Ziggs die, but that's totally fine. Just don't lose 3 members of your team. And as you mentioned, that's probably going to be Elder Drake now over to the side of Mango, and it might give them a chance to stall this game and get the items that they need. And suddenly this gold lead that Jobcenter have been building up over time just slowly gets more and more useless over time, because the later this game goes, the more items that Mango are going to be getting, and it means that the gold lead is basically non-existent. So now both teams are just going to be waiting. You know, Mango don't want the Baron buff minions to push on through, so they're just going to clear the ways and play passive. But also now you feel like Jobcenter can't really force a fight when the other team has Elder.
Yeah, and this kind of crazy because Jobcenter had this game in their hands already, and they were one step ahead from grand finals. But now Mango, they have a chance to make a miracle comeback. And I was trying to say at some point that Mango need a miracle to turn this game around, and it feels like they got it right now. They try to stall the game, they try to win this time, and they have both inhibitors up. So they now need to stop Jobcenter from this aggression in their jungle, so they can try to push the line a little bit further from their base.
The T-Hex is going to be alive. The T-Hex is still alive. The problem is now the Jobcenter do not feel as confident this time around. The T-Hex is going to go down, so it's a wasted Baron in the end from Jobcenter. They took the Baron. They played so well around the objective, but losing 3 members meant that they couldn't secure the Elder Drake. And most of the time at this point of the game, the Elder Drake buff is going to be a little bit stronger because you can try and force a fight. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. I believe they still have the Elder Drake for a few more seconds. So they're trying to get this mid lane tower. The Ziggs bomb comes on through, doesn't do enough damage just yet.
Yeah,
this is like anyone's game right now. Look at the goal lead. It's just down to 2,000 gold. At this point in the game, it means absolutely nothing at all. And it's actually Mango's the one trying to go in. They're going to zone them away from the tower. So that's mid lane tower secured. And this game is dead even. Mango have been able to come back from a 10,000 gold deficit. The Baron buff even going over to Jobcenter as well. The Ziggs has now sold the Medjais, so that's basically 300, 400 gold wasted on this Medjais, and it means that, you know, I mean, look at the gold lead now. Severe has a 2,000 gold lead over the Ziggs.
That's Medjai's curse. I've been talking about Stu before. That's the Medjai's curse, and Ziggs died this game, and Ziggs was forced to sell his Medjais. It doesn't bring any benefit to the table. And now we see that Sivir is a really difference here. Sivir makes difference. What a damage onto Magambo from Josh. Okay, that's Ziggs. Okay, that's Ziggs on 22nd minute of the game. It can do. Now Mango Maracuya needs to win some time to let Morgana reset and get her HP back. But Jobcenter, meanwhile, can try to go and burst down Baron, but here comes Engage from Vexik, an ultimate from Ambessa, right on the target. Nice one here. 1-for-0 trade, good way. And what Snorlax is doing here, Snorlax! That was a strange flank from his side, and he will definitely fall down here. And there is a chance for Mango to turn this game around. If Garen won't take the tower on the bot side and won't kill Patterson, everything will be fine for Team Mango Maracuya. And Patterson chasing down Garen, he wants to kill him, but it will be very difficult. But Baron falls into the Mango side, and Mango has really good chance now for the comeback.
Yeah, suddenly this game has completely turned on its head. It's been absolutely crazy. I mean, being out like just the pick off there from Ambessa was so clean. Finding that right angle, finding the right opportunity to ultimate onto the Ziggs. The great thing about Ambessa's ultimate is that it always goes to the furthest target. So even if there is some protection there from Ziggs, Ambessa has that backline damage potential and has the flanking potential to go all the way onto the Ziggs. And now it's Mango with Baron buff, a gold lead, and Elder Drake in 20 seconds time.
Oh, this insane moment of truth on Elder Drake. Can Mango take the Elder Drake right now in this situation? They have the T-Hex and they have everything in their hands. They should go for Elder Drake and push up a fight here. And the question is, can they take down Jobcenter in this situation? And here is coming an Engage. Snorlax getting caught and destroyed within a second, and Carlos managed to get away, but T-Hex is very aggressive in this situation. Mango Maracuya trying to chase down. Carlos is really low on HP, and Mango are trying to finish off the game. They're getting down Nabil, and Carlos will fall as well. Very low HP Josh, and Find God survives, but it's not possible for them to stop Mango Maracuya from taking down game number 3.
And it looks like game number 3. We are going to be going to game 4, chat. Mango being able to come back from a 10,000 gold deficit. The game looked in the hands of Jobcenter. Everything was in the favor of Jobcenter. There is no way that Mango should have been able to come back in this game. Jobcenter took Baron, but as soon as they took Baron, they tried to force a fight. No idea why, but they forced a fight. As soon as they took Baron, all they had to do was disengage, take the T-Hex, put it into the bot lane and siege and win the game. Like you said, it's like they take the Baron, they finish the game, but somehow Mango were able to take 3 kills, take the Elder Drake, stall the game for a long enough amount of time where Mbessa were able to get enough items, snipe Jash a few times, snipe away a few kills, and suddenly Mango get back into this game. And I'm so glad this game's going to a game number 4. I mean, you mentioned it before, Cold Star. You feel like the series can go either way. The 2-0 definitely didn't put a name really on this series, but look at that. Nearly a 10,000 gold lead for Jobcenter, and they weren't able to win it.
Yeah, that's incredible comeback, and all the credits to Mango Maracuya in this game, especially